Yay, what it do, G'd up world, you understand me? I am the motherfucking host with the most, Mr. Osotru himself, aka cut me in and cut it out, get with it to get gone, bitch. Suck it or should it, you understand me? And I just wanted to come through real quick, man, and rap a taste with y'all, man, and, you know, tell a story that need to be told, you feel me, as far as the origins of Gdupradio, you understand me, where it come from, you know, how it got to where it's at, you feel me, and where it's going. You know, coming up as a BG, man, Youngstown, Ohio, East Side on deck, I always been a connoisseur of music, man. Like, that's the only thing that got me through my issues and my struggles, you know what I'm saying, that kept me afloat on one, was the music. You know, at a young age, man, I hustled, you know what I'm saying. First music I ever heard was NWA, you know what I'm saying. First tape I ever bought, my own little tape for $5 at the Arab store, was a little $5 tape, you know what I'm saying, that had Easy Radio on it. Listen to the song probably had to be about 100 times back to back. I wouldn't listen to nothing else on the motherfucking tape. You know what I'm saying? Both sides. Easy Radio was the only thing I fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that set me up for who I become as a man in Gdupradio today. You know, as far as coming up as a BG, man, you know, getting of age, you know what I'm saying, and turning to a grown man, I had accumulated so much music. You feel me? You know, I accumulated a lot of fucking music over the time. You know, I ended up, you know, around 2005, I ended up with around 4,500 CDs, easy. You know, I had ran the street so much in my life that, you know, it was time to chill out by the time I had my daughter, you know what I'm saying? So I was always in the crib, you feel me? You know, had a couple of trap houses, but I was always in the house, trap. You feel me? So I'm online, bullshitting online, you know what I'm saying, playing video games, shooting pool. I had it all in my house. I was the one that everybody came to my house to get it in. You feel me? So I didn't have to be out bleeding the block like I did as a BG. You feel me? Everybody came to me to get what they wanted to get high, and everybody came to me to get what they wanted to get right. You understand that? So I accumulated so much music, like I said, 4,500 CDs. Straight up, no chaser, no boo-boo, 4,500. Around the same time, you know, Pac died in 96, man, and around that time, you know, it was a big void left, and, you know, people was just listening to anything. Me personally, I was stuck in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? People was just listening to any fucking thing, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you can, it's easy for a prison guard to say he lived your life, but you can't say you lived their life. You feel me? So I hated the double standard. I hated it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can't just go be a college professor after you done been in a trap with felonies and shit all your life. But a college professor can easily turn around and say, I'm a gangster ass nigga. You feel me? Fuck around and turn into a rapper or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And who's to say that nigga real or not? Who's to say his music is what you should be listening to or not? And that's the perspective that you should follow. So with that being said, I started a website in 2005 or 2004, I want to say, in 2004, called mobmusic.com. You know, it was just like your SOHH.com, your allhiphop.com. This is 50. You know what I'm saying? I just took all the latest news, you know what I'm saying, from all the real ones and put it on one website. The latest videos, you know what I'm saying, the latest real music, and put it on one website. You know what I'm saying? In 2005, I got locked up. I had to sit it down for a minute. You know what I'm saying? When I got out, niggas had took the domain name, which I knew nothing about all that shit. They had took the domain name and tried to extort a nigga to buy it back. You feel me? That wasn't happening. So I just let the shit go. You know what I'm saying? Got back to the trap. You know what I'm saying? I'm fresh out. I need money. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my money right. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't too much worried about that shit. So, you know, at that same time, you know, around that time, that's when converting MP3 music to MP3s came about. And so I started taking like all of my CDs and converting them. I'm in the crib all the time anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing my my mobmusic.com. I'm doing my you know what I'm saying? I'm online all the time and shit like that. So it was nothing for me to be sitting and converting these CDs to MP3s. You know what I'm saying? I even sold some after I was converting them. I tried to sell some at the flea market. You know what I'm saying? Just to get them off because I didn't need them no more. I got the music forever as a file. So, you know, shouts out to Four Seasons. You know what I'm saying? Up on McCartney, Youngstown, Ohio. You know, but that kind of got played out because I didn't want to be a sitting duck. You know, wasn't no money on my head, but at the same time, there was people that wanted to bring harm to Oso for dumb shit I've done, you know what I'm saying, in my time, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. But, you know, it is what it is. I didn't want to be a sitting duck, so, you know, we scrapped that idea. You dig that? And, so I hooked up with a homie, you feel me? He always had all the music I didn't. I always had all the music he didn't. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So I told him straight up, I said, man, I sell you all my CDs, fam, for $5,000, 4,500 CDs for $5,000. And the homie said, fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Shoot him through. So I sold him all the CDs. He gave me a big down payment, and ended up paying the rest of them off in time. Hold on, Drake break. Yeah. So I sold him all the CDs or whatever, and that was that. 2006, I want to say, I left, you know, Youngstown, Ohio, moved to Toledo. As soon as I moved to Toledo, everybody was saying, man, nigga, yo walk, yo talk. You understand me, nigga? You need to be on TV somewhere. You understand me? On TV, radio, something. People need to hear you. They need to know what's going on with you. I ain't think too much of it. It is what it is. You know, I started working up there, you know what I'm saying? Fresh out the game, you know what I'm saying? I started working in Toledo, you know, shouts out to my cousin Rick on deck. You know, as far as working, you know, I always took my headphones to work every night, you know what I'm saying? I needed music to listen to. So I started making like playlists, you feel me? Playlists for this, playlists for that, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, as far as me making the playlists, the different playlists of music to listen to, you know, it started accumulating. I went from 1 to 2 to 3, and I ended up with about 20 fucking playlists. You know what I'm saying? One time, you know, after I had, you know, worked my way up the ladder, I was team leader. You know what I'm saying? Supervisor, all that shit. And, you know, after working my way up, you know what I'm saying? One day we had something we was doing, and, you know, everybody was like, man, like, we need some music to listen to. So I said, man, shit. You know, I put my MP3 or whatever it was as a phone and put the speakers on loud. Motherfuckers was like, nigga, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, everybody was like, man, can you make me CDs? Can you shoot me some music and shoot me some music? You know what I'm saying? No problem. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was like, man, you need to go to the radio station and tell them, you know, you want to be on the radio. So I said, how can you just go to the radio station? Niggas was like, man, the radio station right down the street, nigga. Just go down there and try to go in or whatever. So one day I said, fuck it. Shouts out to 107.9, you know what I'm saying? I goes up in that bitch, and I told the lady straight up, sweet lady, man. She was married to the owner or something like that. And I told her, I said, look, I want to be on this radio station. And she said, what you mean you want to be? I said, man, I want to be on this radio station. You know what I'm saying? I said, what you see is what you get. She said, man, you know, what have you done before? I said, I ain't done nothing. But I know I want to be on the radio, and I know I want to be a personality. So she said, you know, well, come in here, you know what I'm saying? She said, come back, and I like your style. Come back tomorrow, we'll see what we can do. So I goes back the next day with my music, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not knowing nothing how this shit roll. We goes in this bitch. I said, man, put this shit on. You know, so I'm ready to go. She's like, hey, watch the language. And I'm like, what you mean? You know, what you mean? It's what I do. So she was like, you know, you can't talk like that though, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right. So we did a little radio run and shit. And I mean, needless to say, I flunked that shit with flying colors, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was cussing my ass off, man. I ain't even gonna hold on real quick, fam. I was like, man, I ain't even gonna front. You know what I'm saying? I fucked that shit all up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was cursing. She was like, man, look, you know, this ain't what we talking about right here. Like, we can't fade this. So, you know, it kind of discouraged me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it didn't. I wasn't even tripping, you know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck it, you know? It is what it is. Life is terrible in here. So, you know, after that, you know, I left. I ended up leaving Toledo, you know what I'm saying? And in 09, you know, the company went belly up. I went traveling and shit, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, when I went traveling in 09, I came in fuck with, you know, I had met a lot of people online, you know what I'm saying, from all kind of different cities. I had met a lot of people, you know, just in person, from rapping to Tyson, things like that, you know what I'm saying? So, I went traveling and shit, you know what I'm saying? And as far as going traveling, I went to Atlanta. When I went to Atlanta, niggas was like, you know, I would play my music, and then niggas was like, damn, like, nigga, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this the shit I listen to. You know, in Atlanta, they don't listen to nothing but Atlanta. You understands me? So, you know, I was coming down that bitch playing Top Authority, you feel me, Watts Gangsters, you know what I'm saying, like West Coast, East Coast, you know, Michigan, St. Louis, they knew nothing about none of this music. Even H-Time shit, they knew nothing about this shit. You know what I'm saying? So niggas was like, man, like, what the fuck is that? So, you know, needless to say, you know, motherfuckers was like, man, like, you need to play that, man. Can you make me some music? Can you make me some music? You know, can you make me a little CD? So, you know, after, you know, looking out for folk and shit like that, I ended up coming to Houston. Shouts out to the H, man. You know, that's big shouts out to the H, man. As far as coming to Houston, man, I never forget, I went to a concert. And as far as going to this concert, we kicking it and shit, when we was leaving, they had a flyer. They had a flyer set out there, and it said, Local Live Media, Local Live Houston, your online radio station. And it just hit me. I said, word? An online radio station? You can do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been online all these years. You can do that shit? So it just hit me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I did a little research and shit, and as far as doing my little research, I stumbled upon Blog Talk, from which I made my own little radio show. Now, you know, this first I was just fucking around, and I started a radio show called Oso Radio. You feel me? Now, initially with this radio show, man, I was just on there just talking, you know, talking this shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, getting in where I fit in, shit like that, just talking, you know, daily events and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And this manager called in. I ain't gonna say the nigga name because we ended up falling out. This manager called in, and he was like, man, look, I can get you, you know, rappers or whoever, you know what I'm saying, on your show. You know what I'm saying? You can, you know, it just be an added element to the show or whatever. So I'm like, shit, cool, nigga, run them through. So, you know, one thing led to another, and people, you know, the listeners picked up. You know, a lot of people started coming through and fucking with us tough. You know what I'm saying? So as far as everybody fucking with us real tough, I end up reaching out to one motherfucker, to XO. Shouts out to XO, man, from Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? XO, aka Scipio, you understand me? Black Wall Street on dick. I reached out to the nigga, man, and I ain't gonna lie, Sip, you probably don't even know this, fam, but I was so nervous. I was so nervous, my nigga. Like, I didn't know what the fuck to expect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just reaching out to this nigga and just like, man, like, could you come on Oso Radio? You know what I'm saying? And be a guest on. And, you know, this nigga was like, man, what kind of radio show is that? Like, what you do? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, man, like, you know, we about that gangster shit. You know, we pushing that fine line for niggas to put the real music to the forefront. And he just cut me off. Nigga, don't worry about it. I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love putting niggas on. I think it was when I told him that we was for the underground. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, I love the underdog. I love niggas coming up. I'm fucking with you, fam. Let's do it. And needless to say, man, from there, it just took off, man. I mean, after we had EXO on Oso Radio at the time, it just took off, man. I mean, we ended up having everybody from Glasses Malone to you name them, they was on there. J Hood, Mav Hoffa, man, La Rue, the Hard Hitter, Lee Majors, the Jacker, man, I mean, Corrupt, Daz, Roscoe Tabasco, Gail Gotti, man, Technique, like everybody, man. West Coast on dead, you know what I'm saying? East Coast was fucking with us, down south fucking with us, ESG, man, we had everybody on, you know what I'm saying? But as G'd Up Radio, I mean, well, as Oso Radio at the time got bigger and bigger and bigger, I didn't want, you know, for my personal reasons, I've always been one to help people, you know what I'm saying, and then sit back and watch them shine, you know what I'm saying. I've never been one to try to, you know, take the spotlight or take the shine or nothing like that. I am who I am. I'm an outgoing personality, but I've never been one to want to take the spotlight. So Oso Radio just didn't sit well with me no more, because we had got so big, you know what I'm saying. And I was saying to myself, it's bigger than Osotru, you know what I'm saying. And so after that, I said, look, man, you know, I want to change the name. I want the name to be something that everybody can relate to, and that'll put this into a level where everybody fucking with it tough. You know what I'm saying? And everybody know the significance behind the name of the radio station. So I started playing with names and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this, or this, that, or this, that. And, you know, I rapped the taste with a couple of folk. And a couple of people was like, man, like, you know, it boiled down to Gangster Radio and G'd Up Radio. And everybody I talked to said, man, G'd Up Radio, that's the business. That's the one right there. So G'd Up Radio it was. You understand me? I mean, G'd Up Radio came out of a circumference that just blossomed. You feel me? And that's really, you know, the essence behind the name. The radio station that you hear today. The radio station that brings you the Dazzers, you know what I'm saying? The Compton Menaces, the Alley Boys, the Rick Rosses, the real Rick Rosses. You understand me? Like, you know, I tell everybody, we never gonna be where we want to be until we get that official stamp. You feel me? From real ones like Snoop. You feel me? But Dash fuck with us. Corrupt fuck with us. Max Sean 100 Young fuck with us. You feel me? The Gang. But Big Face 100 Young. You understand me? Compton Minutes fuck with us tough. You feel me? Ice Cube. Ice Cube. You feel me? I always tell motherfuckers all the time, man, G'd Up Radio started with Ice Cube. You feel me? Was carried by Snoop. Almost died with Tupac. And it lives at G'd Up Radio. That's real. I mean, it don't get no realer than that, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, at the same time, man, I want to thank everybody, you feel me, for fucking with G'd Up Radio, you know what I'm saying, making G'd Up Radio the radio station that it is today, you know what I'm saying. I thank y'all a million, you feel me. And I also thank y'all for the continuous support of getting us where we going to right now. You understand me? The levels that we're going to take it to. You feel me? That's where we get the sponsorships from. That's where we get, you know what I'm saying, the support and the advertisements from. You know what I'm saying? But now you know. Now you know the concrete jungle that G'd Up Radio come from. Because I'm going to tell you something. These radio stations is popping up left and right now. Kill Your Mama Radio. You know what I'm saying? Shoot You in the Mouth Radio, you know what I'm saying, Concrete Radio, like all this crazy ass shit. But I promise you, none of these niggas have gone through what I personally have gone through to bring you G'd Up Radio. None of them have had to walk late nights. You feel me? Listening to a CD they just bought with that last bag of boo they just bought. Broke as hell, hungry, homeless, nowhere to go. Strolling the streets, ain't got nothing but my hustle and my music. They not gonna bring you that. They not gonna put you in the perspective of that. So continue to ride with the real, man. Continue with support of riding with the real, man, and being with us real ones, man. And you know, now you know, you feel me? Before this light just goes completely dark. I'm out here H-time right now, you know what I'm saying? And it is getting dark out this bitch. So before it goes completely out, man, I just want y'all to know the realness behind G'd Up Radio, where it comes from, the significance of it, and the significance of it that loves continued support from you, that's gonna push us forward. You feel me? Ride with the real. That's all I ask. Like Pac said, listen to it. Vibe with it. Don't just listen to the beat and bob your head. Listen to what motherfuckers saying. Know who they are. And ask yourself, is that real? Is that what represents you? And we gonna keep mobbing, man. On to the future. G'd Up Radio. On one.